Hello and welcome to Catholic Courses, and to this course in which we will be studying the Second Vatican Council in terms of being a gift and a grace to the Church. I'm Dr. Jem Sullivan, and I am delighted to be here as we begin this introductory survey course on the event and the documents of the Second Vatican Council, held in Rome from 1962 to 1965. Among the objectives of this course, we will discuss why the Second Vatican Council was held at this particular moment in the Church's history. Then we will consider key themes from 4 major documents of Vatican II. These topics will serve as a means to understanding the significance of this council for the Catholic Church in the second half of the 20th century and into the third Christian millennium. As this is intended as an introductory survey course on Vatican II, we will obviously not discuss all the Council's 16 documents. Instead, we will focus on key themes from 4 major documents of this Council. We hope that this introductory survey course will encourage you to continue your study of the rest of the Council's documents. Given that an in-depth study of the event of the Second Vatican Council and its 16 documents would require a good bit more time than these 8 lectures will allow. This course will serve as an introduction, a survey of key ideas about Vatican II and its documents. The assumption then is that this introductory survey course will hopefully inspire you to continue reading and reflecting on all the 16 documents of Vatican II after you have completed this course. The main objective as we journey through the 8 sessions of this course is to discover, or perhaps rediscover, the gift and treasure of Vatican II, which is the 21st Council in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church. But before we begin, allow me to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to learn about the Second Vatican Council. By purchasing this Catholic course, you have not only committed your time and resources to learning, you are also making a sound investment in your ongoing education and formation so as to deepen your knowledge and to renew your faith. Now, in this session, we'll begin with the question, why study the event and the teachings of Vatican II? And in answer to this question, we will review the main themes of the 8 sessions in this course. We will discuss 3 reasons for an introductory survey course on the study of Vatican II. In other words, what are some key reasons for taking a course on the Second Vatican Council in the first place? Why is a course on the documents of this council worth your time and effort? And what relevance might this course have for your ongoing formation in the Catholic faith? In the next lecture, we will consider 3 typical misconceptions about this council, and we'll discuss 3 principles to guide our study of Vatican II. The year 2005 marked the 40th anniversary of the closing of Vatican II, and the year 2012 marks the 50th anniversary of the opening of the Council. During the Year of Faith, to begin in October 2012 and end a year later, Pope Benedict XVI has repeatedly encouraged Catholics to rediscover the treasures of the teachings of the Second Vatican Council as a means to deepen their faith and love for the Church during the Year of Faith. In the words of Pope Benedict XVI, announcing the Year of Faith, in his motu proprio, Porta Fidei, number 5, the Pope says this, and I quote, "It seemed to me that timing the launch of the Year of Faith to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the opening of the Second Vatican Council would provide a good opportunity to help people understand that the texts bequeathed by the Council Fathers, in the words of Blessed John Paul II, have lost nothing of their value or brilliance. They need to be read correctly, to be widely known, and taken to heart as important and normative texts of the magisterium within the Church's tradition. I feel more than ever in duty bound to point to the Council as the great grace bestowed on the Church in the 20th century. There we find a sure compass by which to take our bearings in the century now beginning. I would also like to emphasize strongly what I had occasion to say concerning the Council a few months after my election as successor of Peter. If we interpret and implement it guided by a right hermeneutic, it can be and can become increasingly powerful for the ever necessary renewal of the Church. Both Blessed Pope John Paul II and Benedict XVI have repeatedly drawn attention to Vatican II and affirmed the importance of this event in the life of the Church today. So we might ask ourselves the question, why have both these recent popes repeatedly underscored the need to read, to study, and to carefully implement the theological and pastoral vision of the Second Vatican Council? So with these questions in mind, let us begin with a brief overview of this course on Vatican II. In this first lecture, we will focus on 3 reasons for a course on Vatican II. In the second session, we will turn our attention to some common misconceptions regarding the Council and some general principles to guide our study of this 21st Council. Then, in the third session, we'll consider elements of genuine church renewal. Then we will outline what an ecumenical council is in the history of the Catholic tradition. In the fourth lecture, we'll move to highlight the event of the Second Vatican Council itself. We will answer the question, what was the Second Vatican Council? When did this event take place? And how did Vatican II unfold in the life of the Church? We will consider several key reasons why the Second Vatican Council was convened by Pope John XXIII. And we'll discuss highlights from the speeches given by Pope John XXIII as he called for, convened, and then opened the Second Vatican Council. In Lecture 5, we will begin to study the major documents of Vatican II. Reading the text of the documents themselves is critical to this course. The numerous commentaries on the documents of Vatican II that you may have access to are helpful in providing historical context and scholarly background. These commentaries, however, will not be the focus of our study. Instead, our discussion of the 4 major documents of the Council will focus on reading the text of the documents themselves. In Lecture 5, we will discuss the Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy, or Sacrosanctum Concilium. In Lecture 6, we will continue with key themes from the Dogmatic Constitution on Divine Revelation. Then, in Lecture 7, we'll consider the Dogmatic Constitution on the Church, or Lumen Gentium. And finally, in Lecture 8, this survey course will conclude with a discussion on the Pastoral Constitution on the Church in the modern world, along with highlights from the remaining documents of the Second Vatican Council. So let's turn now to consider some reasons for a course on the Second Vatican Council. As we've just noted, Pope Benedict XVI called for a celebration of a Year of Faith starting in October 2012. In his Motu Proprio Porta Fidei, outlining the Church's celebrations for the Year of Faith, the Holy Father points to the event and the teachings of the Second Vatican Council. He notes that Vatican II remains a fundamental event in the life of the Church today. And he encourages all of us as Catholics to discover the teachings of this 20th century council. So let's begin with the question, why study Vatican II? I think a first reason to study the Second Vatican Council is what we might term a magisterial reason. This is because the teachings of the Second Vatican Council now belong to the Church's living magisterium. Now, what do Catholics mean when they speak of a magisterium?